Audemars Piguet is one of my favourite watchmakers, and my AP is one of my favourite watches. However, despite this, Audemars Piguet is not beyond making some mistakes. And perhaps one of their biggest missteps has been their decision to collaborate with Marvel. Now, not so long ago, AP made a Black Panther watch. It was a black and purple creation. It, to my mind, was a little bit garish, and it wasn't exactly well received, with people likening it to an Invicta or to a Happy Meal toy. Nevertheless, it attracted celebrity attention from people such as LeBron James. It was limited to only 250 pieces, and it sold for a lot of money. So AP clearly saw a business case for making a watch of this nature. So therefore, AP has followed it up with a Spider-Man watch. Now, the Spider-Man watch has a very similar theme and vibe to the Black Panther one, which is rather unsurprising, given that they're both Marvel characters. Indeed, the broad shape, being a Royal Oak, is obviously going to be similar between the two. The main difference here, of course, is that now Spider-Man is on the watch rather than Black Panther. Now, there are in fact two Spider-Man watches here. You've got a titanium case and a white gold case, but they are broadly similar. The titanium case has a red Spider-Man, the white gold case has a black Spider-Man, but they're generally going to be kind of similar in nature. Now, in terms of these watches, they feature a skeletonized tourbillon movement that claims to have a 50-hour power reserve. So it's obviously a good quality movement, as are all AP movements. There's clearly a lot of craftsmanship that's gone into the movement and has gone into the dial, which features the Spider-Man figure. Clearly, it took a lot of hours to create these watches. It's obviously highly detailed, obviously highly skilled to create these, but they don't actually look that attractive. And I can't help but shake the feeling that these again look kind of like an Invicta, look kind of like a Happy Meal toy. And I'm not entirely clear exactly to whom AP is trying to market these. Now, on their website, Audemars Piguet describes the watches as follows. Presented in a 42mm titanium case, contrasted with a black ceramic bezel and crown, the open-worked movement of the Royal Oak concept tourbillon Spider-Man appears as the hero of this timepiece, extending across the entire thickness of the watch. The superhero alone requires no less than 50 hours of work, pushing the limits of the craftsmanship of the artisans in Le Brassus. Based on the caliber 2948, the new hand-wound caliber 2974 required all the open-working expertise of Audemars Piguet's engineers, watchmakers, and craftsmen for this timepiece to see the light of day. By eliminating as much material as possible, they've been able to achieve a level of transparency that allows Spider-Man's character to appear in three-dimensional form, as if suspended in the void through the sapphire crystal. Now, I can see kind of what they're going for here. After all, Spider-Man is known for traversing via his web. He's known for having that sense of open space and freedom. So clearly, recreating that with the movement is going to be of paramount importance. And I definitely give them credit for the artistry and the craftsmanship involved in doing so. However, despite the clear amount of work and the clear amount of skill involved in creating this, that doesn't mean that it is either attractive or necessary. And to my mind, I'm not clear exactly who this is marketed toward. And the comments on the Instagram post featuring this have not exactly been kind. For example, we've got comments such as, "Today, a place as a member of the Holy Trinity has become available." Or, "That looks like a Hublot, and that's saying a lot." Or, "Lamau, what's going on at AP? Next we'll have a Paw Patrol Royal Oak," which I actually think would probably be better than the Spider-Man one. Or, "I feel sorry for the new CEO having to clean up after this utter poop." Or simply looks horrific. Clearly the watch buying public, or at least the watch public in general, has not been super fond of this. Now clearly, most of us would never have any chance of ever being able to buy one of these. It's clearly going to be sold out, clearly going to be picked up by celebrities or people who are watch collectors, or people who are simply looking to speculate on this watch going up in value. However, the people who are looking at this watch aren't exactly enthused by it. And I can't help but wonder, who exactly is this for? Who exactly wants this watch other than someone who is simply speculating on it going up in value? I'm also not entirely sure how AP even gains from this. Maybe Audemars Piguet is trying to cater to and market to a younger public. However, I don't know that Audemars Piguet is going to generate more sales as a result of this. Are people really going to go to AP rather than Patek or Lange or Vacheron because it has Spider-Man and Marvel? Is that really appealing to much of an audience? Are they thinking this makes AP look more fun and more attractive? I'm not entirely sure. I very much hope that Marvel actually paid Audemars Piguet to feature the characters rather than the other way around. because to my mind, Marvel is the real beneficiary of this. Now, having these Marvel characters on an Audemars Piguet, it creates a halo product. It creates the appearance that the Marvel merchandise is actually higher quality and is better than it really is in reality. It creates the feeling that Marvel is now a premium product that attracts premium merchandise, such as an Audemars Piguet. It appears that Marvel benefits from this. Marvel is a real commercial beneficiary rather than Audemars Piguet. Indeed, I think if AP were to create any decent quality 250-piece item, they would probably sell it for a ton of money. They could create their own intellectual property. They could create their own character or theme or thing to put on their watches, still sell it for a ton of money, it would still be sold out, it would still be highly profitable, and if AP is really paying licensing fees to perhaps license Spider-Man or Black Panther, well, AP could save that money, create their own intellectual property that would both A, cater for this watch, and could be a legacy brand or intellectual property that would feature in future watches as well. So they would build up additional brand value. Now clearly Audemars Piguet has a lot of brand value already. However, that doesn't stop them from creating more brand value, it doesn't stop them from creating more designs. They could create their own design that they could carry through as a premium product, rather than relying on licensing things such as Spider-Man or Black Panther or Paw Patrol if they would go and do that, facetiously speaking. Basically, Audemars Piguet, I don't know how they actually gained from this watch. I don't know how exactly they think this is going to generate more desire for the watches. I'm not sure exactly who this is catering for. I don't know why this watch really exists. Now, this is despite the fact that I can acknowledge this clearly took a lot of craftsmanship, took a lot of skill to put together. There's obviously a lot of intricate design in both the movement and also in the Spider-Man figurine here. There's a lot of design and thought that would have gone into the case and also gone into the bracelet. However, like I indicated, that doesn't make it an attractive watch. It doesn't necessarily make it a desirable watch other than the fact that it is limited. It doesn't really make the watch a good decision for Audemars Piguet over the long term, as compared to them developing their own intellectual property and then being able to generate that for future watches as well. So I don't know who this is really for other than speculators, and I don't know how Audemars Piguet thinks they're actually going to benefit from this, other than maybe generating some short-term publicity that might generate from sales from celebrities or speculators going forward. Now obviously, if you're really into a Spider-Man watch and you really just have to have one, well, Invicta has you covered, and they're a lot more cheap and a lot more available than the Audemars Piguet ones. So we'll include a link to some of these in the description below in case you really want to check those out. And in any case, those are my thoughts about the Spider-Man watch and this Marvel collaboration more generally. If you've got any thoughts about it, if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm missing the point, let me know that in the comments below. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks a lot for tuning in, and hopefully I see you next time as well.